Welcome to More Than Commas, where we explore the values behind the numbers. I'm Cory Shepherd, and today we're asking a radical question. Could rest be one of the most overlooked but essential strategies in building wealth that actually matters? Stick around, and I think you'll find this isn't just about naps and vacations. It's about stewardship, legacy, and what it means to live richly. Let's start with a confession. I used to think rest was a reward, something you got after you worked hard, built a business, or hit a financial milestone. But over time, I've come to see rest differently, not as a prize, but as a principle. In our modern culture, especially among high earners and entrepreneurs, rest has almost become taboo. You're supposed to be on all the time. Hustle culture rewards burnout. Financial media glorifies the grind. But here's the truth. A rested mind makes better decisions. A rested body shows up with more energy. And a rested soul is harder to shake when the markets do what they do. At Sound Financial Group, we often say we coach people not just to build wealth, but to build lives they won't want to escape from. Rest is part of that equation. There is a cost in constant activity. It shows up in the form of poor decision-making, short-sighted investment behavior, broken relationships, health deterioration, and a distorted view of success. We meet clients all the time who are financially successful, but emotionally they feel bankrupt. They know how to build portfolios, but not how to protect their peace. That's not wealth. That's bondage. And what's worse? Many of them don't even know it because they've never been given permission to rest. So let me give you that permission now. You can rest. You should rest because your value isn't in your output. Your value is in who you are. To rest in a culture obsessed with performance is a form of rebellion. It says, my identity is not in my work, my income, or my calendar. It also says, I trust that the world will keep turning without me micromanaging every corner of it. That kind of mindset is essential for wise stewardship. Without it, even the best financial plan becomes a hamster wheel. And if we're honest, sometimes busyness is just a socially acceptable way of avoiding stillness. And stillness is where the real work begins, especially for those seeking meaning, purpose, and legacy. Even ancient wisdom across many cultures and religions promotes the value of rest. In the Hebrew Bible, God creates for 6 days and then rests. Not because God was tired, but because God was setting a natural rhythm for us to live in, which led Christians to the concept of a Sabbath day of rest on Sundays. In Judaism, God's example led to Shabbat on Saturday, a complete 24-hour cessation from labor, technology, and productivity. Not as a restriction, but as a delight. Shabbat teaches that we are not slaves to our work, and that joy can be found in reflection, community, and presence. In Buddhism, mindful rest is a core aspect of the Noble Eightfold Path. Monks are taught to practice noble silence and retreat regularly, not to escape the world, but to re-enter it with clarity. In the Islamic tradition, Friday is a sacred day of prayer and rest. The Quran emphasizes balance and calls believers to engage in their work, but not be consumed by it. In the Hindu faith, the Bhagavad Gita encourages a way of living in which rest, moderation, and balance are practiced daily. Each of these traditions carries the same thread, that rest is part of living wisely. It is not weakness, it is strength.
This episode of More Than Commas is brought to you by Sound Financial Group, where we help families and business owners build and protect wealth through clear, long-term financial strategies. Whether it's retirement planning, investment management, or navigating your overall financial strategy, we're here to help guide you every step of the way. To learn more about how we can help you secure your financial future, visit sfgway.com. You can run retirement calculations and download content to read in your own time.
Modern science is now echoing what the ancients knew. Decision fatigue is real. Studies from Stanford show that willpower and judgment diminish when rest is neglected. Sleep deprivation leads to a 13% decrease in cognitive performance, the same drop you'd see with a blood alcohol level of 0.05. Harvard Business Review found that executives who build in rest days and strategic unplugging are more creative and make better strategic decisions. The University of California, Berkeley linked chronic overwork to anxiety, cardiovascular disease, and even early death, not just from stress, but from a loss of purpose. If that sounds dramatic, it's because the stakes are high. When we refuse rest, we not only wear ourselves out, we become poor stewards of our influence. You may be thinking, okay, but what does rest look like for me? I have meetings, kids, investments, emails, a company to run. Here are a few practical starting points. Take a Sabbath from screens. Start with just one evening a week where no one checks a phone. Build margin in money. Keep a reserve, not just for emergencies, but so you're not making pressured decisions. Annual unplug weeks. Schedule these now. Don't wait until you find time. Time never volunteers itself. Delegate boldly. What could you hand off that's robbing you of peace? Spiritual or reflective practices. Whether it's scripture, meditation, prayer, or quiet walks, create space to reflect. The goal is not to escape responsibility. The goal is to sustain it. When we rest, we're not being unproductive. We're aligning with design. We're trusting provision more than performance. And we're building lives we don't have to constantly recover from. This isn't a retreat. It's a return to wisdom, to balance, to what matters most. You don't have to wait until you hit some magic number to start living with margin. You can start today. I'll even make it a request. Please do start building in rest and margin today. We know many people listen to an episode like this and then they don't take action. I want you to send this to a few friends, then ask them to ask you in a few weeks if you have taken any strategic rest. Who knows? Maybe this episode will show them they may be in need of rest too. You could even challenge them to join you in a month of scheduling intentional rest throughout the week. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and visit sfgway.com to learn more. And if you're feeling the pull towards clarity in your financial life, our team would be happy to schedule a conversation. Thanks for joining me on More Than Commas. I'm Cory Shepard, reminding you that wealth is more than just numbers and rest is more than a reward. It's part of the plan. Next episode, we'll tackle what I wish more people knew before selling their business. Until then, get on back to building a great life.